is Rogers TV.
If you have a comment about this program, we'd love to hear it. Email or call us, or send us your feedback through social media.
You're watching Rogers TV.
It's closing time, and you stayed out longer than you planned. So now you can't drive, and the buses have stopped running. You could always call your girlfriend. Or maybe your roommate? What about your best friend? You could just dial 1-888 Taxi Guy or use the Taxi Guy app. The call and the app are free, and they both connect you to a local cab company to bring you home safely. Visit arrivealive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive, drive sober.
Back through social media.
Mart is here for you, a one-stop shop for a variety of products, home-style breads, sandwiches, plus check out our freshly baked artisan breads and single-serve desserts exclusively at our in-store bakery on Frecker Drive. With 25 locations, wherever you go, there we are.
Yellow Belly Food means fresh food. We source our ingredients locally and prepare them from scratch. Our meat is never frozen. Food's so delicious, we've got Good Times Corner. Yellow Belly Brewery, a proud sponsor of One Chef, One Critic. Today in my kitchen we have the battle of the traditional Newfoundland musicians. We know they can sing and play, but can they cook?
Well, I think I would be better at writing a song than I am at cooking a meal, but occasionally, and very occasionally, I might do something like that. Something pretty rudimentary, something standard like cooking dry fish and potatoes and brews and that kind of thing. I'm pretty good at that, you know.
You know, years ago I was living on my own for a bit too, and so as I was cooking, I always enjoyed, you know, throwing a bit of stuff into a pan and having a go at it.
Hi, welcome to Scoff Off. I'm your host, Brenda O'Reilly. Scoff Off is a light-hearted cooking competition where we take two guests, a secret basket of ingredients, and only 20 minutes on the clock. And today we have two fantastic guests. Yay, I'm so excited. Mr. Bud Davidge, welcome.
Thank you.
And of course, Mark Hiscock.
Hi.
Welcome, Mark.
Thank you.
Of course, we've known each other forever, you and I, Mark.
A long time.
A long time.
Yep.
Of course, frontman for Shannigannock.
Yep.
And now a captain.
A captain.
Yes. And
with the lovely O'Briens.
And I know you like to cook because I watch you on Facebook and I see your posts.
Every once in a while, I'll dabble into the kitchen, and Kelly makes me cook supper or whatever.
Yeah, I think you enjoy that. I think
do.
you like to cook.
I do.
Yeah. What about you, Bud? Do you like to cook? You've been on the road a lot.
Not really. I got a good cook.
Yeah.
My wife is an excellent cook.
Right.
I'm glad I'm not
So I
taking
don't have
on
to do
Mrs.
it.
Davidge.
I don't even have to watch, really.
Yeah,
I just
and
have
you
to
can't
eat it
phone,
afterwards.
You can't phone a friend on this show, so you.
No, I could have brought her with me.
You should have, yeah.
She's a sous chef.
Yeah. This year we'll be married 51 years. Our anniversary is the 20th of June. I wrote a song one time about my wife, Daphne, and it was called The Loveliest Day in June because that's the day we were married.
Oh, I think we're going to be in for a lot of fun today. Yes. I'm looking forward to it. So when we come back, we're going to open the basket of ingredients. Stay tuned to Scoff Off. Welcome back to Scoff Off. So guys, before we open the basket, I gotta go over the rules. There's 30 points in total, 10 points for the use of your basket ingredients. So there's 4 ingredients in your basket. You have to use at least some of everything in your basket. You can also enhance it with some stuff behind you in the pantry and in the fridge if you like. No pressure. Right. And the pots and pans are behind you and your plates for plating. We got 20 minutes to cook. And we're going, and there's 30 points in total.
He can write a song in 20 minutes.
I know, right?
It's easy.
Well, just pretend this is a song. Now your ingredients are all the notes and the. So okay, open your basket. Let's go.
Oh boy.
Okay, hold on. So that's a leek.
Yeah.
An onion, right?
It's a leek.
An onion.
I'll take a leek.
And that's some maple butter cream. And pancetta, which is just bacon.
Okay.
And of course, some scallops. All right?
Yeah. Okay.
So put your mind around your ingredients. That's just bacon. Italian bacon.
It don't
Okay,
say it
guys,
on
it's
the,
ready to scoff off.
it don't say it on the cover there. No, I didn't have a plan. Matter of fact, I was sort of scared when I opened up the basket to see what might be in there. There's something that I wouldn't even have the faintest idea what to do. But when I saw there was scallops in there, you know, and then there was an onion, they called it a leek, which is, I know what that is. And so I said, oh, this is pretty good. This is not going to be as hard as I thought it was going to be.
I was like, what is this long thing in my basket? And then she said it was a leek. I said, okay, I've never cooked with a leek before. The rest of it I've been able to deal with, but that was the first time for me dealing with a leek, except in a boat. I'm
Right?
figuring you're going to fry your...
There you go.
There you go,
This
Mark.
guy.
He's a good guy. Look.
I'll tell
He's
you.
going to help me out here.
He is a good
I'll
guy.
do what I can for you, boy.
Yeah.
Mark, don't put
My
it
name
into
is
the
not
pan
Chris. I'll do what
raw,
I can
but
for you.
What do you say?
I'm going to give a little help now. You don't put cold food in a cold pan. Just stick on. Put that on the stove and turn your stove on. Put a little bit of oil or butter or something in there.
Where's your
Or
oil?
your pancetta.
Where's your oil and your butter?
Natural fat. So
Wanna
the butter
snack
there,
about
the
the
oil
butter?
there.
The bear. We got
Yeah.
butter.
So, Mark, as I said earlier, of course, you're no stranger to me or to O'Reilly's, to anybody really
true.
in Newfoundland, Labrador, nor is Bud. But you and I know each other for years. Of course, you are the co-founder of Shanniganach.
I am
along with,
indeed.
Chris Andrews.
With the man himself. Yes.
Yeah, lots of knives there. Yep. And, you know, so when did Shanniganach get together?
Shanniganach really became a thing. I guess it was around '94 when myself and Chris were double booked down at Aaron's Pub, and
1994?
I think it was '94.
Okay, yeah.
And 94 or 95.
Yeah.
Anyway, instead of Ralph O'Brien, who of course owned the pub at the time, he said, "Now I'm not sending either of you guys home." He said, "Both of you guys get up on stage and do what you guys do and see if it gels." And
I should speak. You went.
over 30 years later, here we are, still at it, and we formed Shanniganach. I think it was around '96 we formed Shanniganach, and we originally done it as a three-piece. And
Who was the other person?
originally it was Bob Purdy, Byron Purdy's brother. You remember,
Yeah,
you know,
I
Byron?
do, yeah.
Yeah. Bob was kicking around and started playing with us, and yeah, so went on from there. And then we got our first gig as Shanniganach was at the Club Commodore.
The Club Commodore in Torbay.
Yeah, in Torbay. That was our first gig. We had Boomer Stan playing drums with us.
Oh my God.
Yeah, well, you know, I just pushed 51, but there's no stopping us. We're still looking well into the future with this band. We're probably at our strongest right now than we have been. And yeah, so right now there's no talks about stopping this band. We've definitely got another 10, 15 years ahead of us yet. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just throwing stuff in the pan.
Well, yeah, so you use your leeks, so you gotta use all the ingredients. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so I see so far you're both doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, now. What am I looking for?
But when did you, I mean, I know you know who Shanniganach is and whatever, but when did you meet
No,
the
I
boys?
don't know who they
No,
are.
I know, right? When did you meet the boys? Because I know you've been doing a lot of things with them over the last few
Yeah.
years. Going on tour and of course recording Music and Friends again. And
Yeah. Well, I had a hiatus from the music business in 1997. Cavities, remember that?
right?
I decided that was enough, like 20 years or so with me and Sim with Seminar.
Yep.
And then
Sim Saver you're talking about, right?
Sim Saver,
Yeah.
yeah, from Ballorem.
Yep.
And we had a great time together over the years, for 20 years or so. And then, you know Chris Andrews, don't you?
A little bit.
How persuasive he can be. Anyway, we were doing a fundraiser, I think, for Gord O'Brien, I believe it was.
Oh yes, right. I remember. I met you that night, actually.
Yeah, down at Holy Heart. And it was Wiggett. Yeah. So we did a couple songs and it went from there.
Right.
And
And the rest is history.
the rest, every now and then he'll give me a call. And
So long before, I mean, you know, Sim and I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it is the beginning of traditional Newfoundland music in our province. You know, everyone knows the Mummer song. Everyone knows Music and Friends, Rose in Her Hair, Lost of the Mary. I mean, so many more. So when you and Sim got together first, like what was the catalyst? You're in Ballorem now.
Yeah.
Right? What's the population of,
1977.
what was the population of Ballorem at the time?
Back then, the population of Ballorem probably was 700 or 800 people. It was
Okay.
fairly big that time, and I was in English Harbour West, which was about 300 people.
Right.
And Sim came home from working in the bank somewhere in here on Water Street, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
And he always was in a band. I never was in a band, and had no intentions of ever being in a band, to tell you the truth. And he sort of, we got together and did a bit of music, you know, like we were sitting around. And he said, well, you know, perhaps we should do something Saturday night or whatever up at there was a club just starting up in Ballorem.
Yeah.
In the old Fisherman's Lodge, as a matter of fact. And the guy, we was up there playing around doing a bit of fun stuff, and he said, why don't you play for a dance? And Sim says, well, you know, what do you think? And I said, well, I don't think so, but anyway, we did. And it went from there, you know. But there was nothing ever planned to go very far ahead with this. It could stop at any time. And but it didn't stop at all. It went on for over 20 years, and we started recording in '81, and then we went on and we did 12 recordings.
When did the writing
that's how
start?
that happens. Pardon?
When did the writing start?
The writing started for the songs. I did a little poetry and stuff, but for the songs, it started around about that time, you know, 78, 79 or something.
Yeah.
I had a bit of stuff together, and he said, well, Closed Sound was on the go in Stephenville. That was a big recording studio in Newfoundland at the time. So we said, just for fun, let's...
You keep distracting him.
We could just talk. I'll cook Bud's meal for him later.
Right?
Yeah. So
We know who's going to win this.
just for fun, we said, let's do a record, you know. And back then, when you said a record, you meant 12-inch
A real record, yeah.
A vinyl and cassettes and single 45s and all that stuff. So we did, and you know, we had 500 records or something or other. So I said, Sim, what are we going to do with all this stuff? I mean, we'll have enough here to paper the walls when it's all said and done.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen that way.
So I'm going to come back to your music in a second, but I'm going to give you a chance to cook because I don't want you to burn it all up on you.
Ooh.
And so, Mark, when you guys got Bud to come and do some music with you, I know you're a fan like I am. How does that make you feel? Like, that was super cool.
I remember the benefit that we done for O'Brien.
Yeah.
And even when you look back on YouTube and you see the expression on my face having Bud stand next to me on stage. Like I cut my eye teeth on Sim and I and Harry Hibbs, Dick Noel, and all these guys. So it was and even today, having Bud on stage today, it's I don't know. It's hard to describe. Like it's like somebody being a fan of Bruce Springsteen and having Bruce up on stage.
Right, exactly.
Right? It's like we're on a, I'm not going to say a lesser scale, because it's definitely not a lesser scale, but on a smaller place like Newfoundland compared to the world stage of Bruce. For me to have, to be playing the accordion for Bud Davidge. If somebody had to tell me 30 years ago that me and Bud Davidge would be playing down in Jamaica on a cruise, I'd say you're cracked.
Right.
Something wrong with you.
Or cooking.
For
Brenda O'Reilly.
O'Reilly's kitchen,
You know?
That can happen every night. This don't have to be on the show.
All you gotta do is just call. Give us a call. We'll come up anytime. But,
Listen, I'll provide the food the next time you just bring your instruments and sing me some songs.
There you go, right?
Equal.
Well, Brenda, and what Mark is just saying there about him being on stage with me, but for me to be on stage with those guys, I tell you, is a real treat for me, because I've got to do things with them that we didn't do.
Right.
because we didn't travel very much. We went to Halifax a couple
You weren't
times.
in Jamaica on a cruise?
No, we weren't. We
No,
didn't
and
know.
like we played at the National Arts Centre in Ottawa, and
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're
like,
getting to see a different side of the career.
Oh, absolutely.
Which is
Oh,
lovely,
definitely.
especially in
Yeah.
the late years of your career, right?
Yeah, and of course, there was just the two of us, and
Yeah.
I'm on stage with those boys, and they got
Yeah, they think
full
there's only two
sound
in, too.
and everything, you know. So it's a real treat for me, and they make it easy for me too, because they look out to me, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And all that sort of thing. Yeah, so it's been a blast, I must say. I've enjoyed every minute of it, you know. Yep.
That's fantastic. I'm happy for you. Now, Mark, I just said earlier, I alluded to the fact that you're a captain. You
Yes.
just got your captain's license, right?
for the second time.
Right, because you were
Yeah.
in Skidemia years
Yeah, I
ago,
was
right?
working with Charlie Anson down in Skidemia back,
Oh, yeah, hell
back in the 90s. And back in the 80s and 90s, actually, I started on Skidemia in 1986.
Okay.
I grew up in Fort Amherst over on the south side of St. John, so I grew up on the water. My dad always had a boat, and in 1986 I went to work on the famous tourboat Skidemia, the two-masted schooner down in St. John's Harbour. And after working there for, I guess I was there probably 6 or 7 years, then I achieved my captain's ticket when I was working with that company. And then, but when the band got busy, when Shannigannock got busy, I got away from the sea. And a couple of years ago, myself and my wife moved to Bay Bulls, and I was down around the harbour talking to Joe O'Brien. Joe knew that I had worked previously in the tourism industry on a tour boat, and he said, why don't you go back and come work with us and go back and get your captain's ticket again? So that's what I done. Went back and had done my MED and my Marine Basic First Aid. I built up my sea time, and then just before my birthday in March, I got my captain's ticket. So now I'm actually captain on the boat, taking tourists out to the islands.
So now we can call you Skipper.
Skipper.
And you were on Skipper and Company one time, weren't you?
I was on Skipper and Company 3 times when I was in kindergarten, grade 1 and grade 3. And our school choir used to go and perform. And our principal at the time, Eric Snellgrove, he was an accordion player himself. And he said, Ray wants you to bring your accordion with you. I told him all about you. He said, bring your accordion.
Oh,
So Ray Blue.
I remember seeing you on it.
Yeah, and then in 80, I think it was 86 or 87, I started performing on Channel 9 on Eyes to Buy, which was a local music channel here in St. John's. And I'm not sure if it was outside of St. John's or not, but it was, I was a regular performer on that for 8 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was
Bob,
well
were you
known
ever on
to
Skipper?
the Channel 9 studios.
Were you ever on Skipper?
No.
Never made it in
Look,
for that one.
This is a maple buttercream, so that's maple syrup on top of like nice sweet butter,
I love
right?
maple syrup.
Yeah, just let
What
you.
will I do?
I opened it for you.
Yeah, I won't put it in that pot, I don't think.
No, what are you gonna do with it?
I'll put it on the plate.
Okay.
I'm just grabbing stuff and throwing it in there.
Well, yeah, Mark, remember when we used to do the live radio show at O'Reilly's?
No, I don't remember those nights. I'm probably the only
Chris
one.
definitely doesn't.
I'm probably the only one in the band that does remember those nights.
You and me only. Chris definitely doesn't.
Between Chris and Patrick and Billy and
Oh yeah,
and Bill Gregory, who was hosting it.
I know.
What a time we used to have.
It was a lot of fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was fun nights, I gotta say. And just about every night we played at O'Reilly's was fun. We always had a good laugh at O'Reilly's.
Yeah.
And of course
You know,
yourself
it'd be
and
nice if I could
Craig
get
and
Bud Davidge down to play at O'Reilly's sometime.
absolutely.
I played down there, you know.
So I mean, really.
Oh yeah,
Not
I know
getting
what
up
you mean.
with someone.
Yeah. I usually get down there with the
We can do a nice early show in the evening,
Easter
right?
sealed crowd.
Yeah,
in
we
there.
can do a nice early show in the evening.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You never know. You never can tell. It might happen.
It's on TV. It's on TV now.
Right? You've just committed to it
There you
now.
go.
So, Mark, you've got a bunch of stuff you've been adding to your dish order. You
Can't put anything in that. It's
You put in. Now, Bud, you put
You
your
done
mix
that.
in.
You done that on
got your
purpose,
mix
didn't
in.
you?
Yeah.
You got that in? Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I didn't open it.
Oh yeah, sure.
I tried to open everything. I just had to open
Oh
Bud's,
yeah. I'll put
Yeah,
Mark
I don't
over on
know
that
what else
side
I
of the
could
kitchen, so you can
Put in there if it'll make it any better than what it already is.
That looks deadly what you got there.
Scallops,
You
huh?
know, yeah. It is. Yeah. I said when I opened up the basket, there were no turs and no cod's heads.
Right.
I said, what the hell am I going to do with
I
it?
know. I was going to put cod's heads in there for a laugh. to be
No, I
honest.
could have cooked them if you'd have put them in.
Right. What would
Yeah.
you do with that?
Well, we either fry them,
Yeah.
cod's heads, or we make stew.
Right.
Stewed cod's heads with
Cod's heads to do
turnip
with what
potato.
Dad did, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's 99% bones, but
Right, but the meat.
Man.
Nothing better than sucking that bit of meat off them bones.
Hey, absolutely. Yes, indeed.
I love a good feed of cod's head.
So-
I
Me
guarantee
too,
you.
I gotta say, I like them too.
Any part of the cod. I don't think there's any part of the cod I don't like.
No, absolutely.
I've had just about every part of it.
The britches are
Britches,
good.
love the britches, tongues,
Yeah.
napes,
I gotta be
everything.
honest now, I didn't know what britches were. I heard of it.
Yeah.
Never had them before in my life until last summer I went out cod jigging.
Yeah.
And people were cutting out the britches and they were frying them up. I was like, what is
yeah.
that?
Well, don't forget
They're good.
the chitlins. Do you know chitlins?
Nope.
Well, the
I don't know
chitlins is
that
the
family.
opposite of the britches. That's the milts they call them in the male, right? I mean, you get cod's heads, you get gills, you get the fish's pea, which is the female fish. We call them britches, and they're really good fried up. And the male fish has what is called milts, or we might say in biological terms, the sperm or whatever, and that we call chitlins. Now, I'm not sure if that's a Newfoundland term or if it's a real term. I think it is probably a local term.
There you
Wine, Mr.
go.
Head.
Now you're talking.
What? These people know each other well,
Oh yeah, we look after Bud on the road. We gotta look after Papa Bud.
right?
Look after Bud.
You always do.
If
You always
you
do.
need a roadie, I was going to say groupie because really that's what I was. Yeah, that's right. So what's next for Shanniganuk?
We got a busy summer coming up.
Yeah.
We got Iceberg Alley coming up this summer. Lots of gigs throughout the year.
Any more albums coming up?
We're talking about doing another one. I think we're into our 15th or 16th
Wow.
album now.
Wow.
And yeah, so we've been hemming and hamming about it, but I think that's going to be something in the fall.
Right.
We'll probably get at.
That's your 30th, isn't it? 30th year?
This will be our 30th year
Yeah.
coming up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow,
Big-
time flies, hey?
It don't be long going, I guarantee
No.
you.
Great
You
landmark.
got 3 minutes left.
And it's been a great year. Like it's been a great 30 years. But you know, what, I'm gonna give you your plate now. Too.
My lord.
I tell you, I gotta look after the man.
Yeah. Sous chef, eh? Sous
Right.
chef. And Mark, you'll always look out to me and you'll say, I'm going to cook some breakfast now. I'll cook some for you too. And of course, he's more used to doing that than I am, and he's good at it. So he always looks out to me, and that's all the boys look out to me. As a matter of fact, they treat me really good. So
You got that terminology all figured out. The sous chef. So Mark's
think
got some
what I
rice
would
on his
do is
plate.
put a little bit of
So,
that
so
on
what
the
do you
side.
still like? Do you still write some music now? Are you?
not so much really, but I got enough stuff available at the moment. I could make a CD.
How many songs have you written in your life?
Oh God, I'm not really sure, but a couple of hundred maybe.
Wow. And
Well,
so,
you have your newest one that you put out there with us
Yeah.
there to fall.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. That was really good. And the Mummer song. Let's talk about that for a minute
Okay.
because you know we all love the Mummer song here
Yeah.
in Newfoundland and
Who don't?
Labrador. So what year did you put that out? What year did you write that?
When Closed Sound was just about ready to close up, and that would have been 1983. We went over there on Labor Day weekend. We were going to do we were going to do a Christmas album in '84, and we went and did that song on a single on a 45, and two sides, Mummer's on one side, and we had to make a lot of 45s because people started wanting the 45s, you know, these little,
Yes.
almost like biscuits, passing them out and that sort of thing. Anyway, so we did that in the fall of '83, and then in '84 we put out the full album Christmas Fancy with the Mummers on there, right?
Right.
And we call it Christmas Fancy.
Which is a brilliant album.
So, and then in '85, Land and Sea came down, CBC with Dave Quentin, and wanted to do the CBC Land and Sea program. So they did that in '85, and that's played every single year since. So that's 37, 38 years now. It's been playing every Christmas.
Right.
So we were pretty fortunate.
Oh,
all
you had
that.
a good royalty regime going on.
Well, I suppose we did pretty good, you know.
Okay. That's good. You got 1 minute
Yeah.
left. Put your food on the plate there now. There's a little.
I'm gonna have some yellow belly beer.
Oh, there you go. He's trying to score points with the host.
Of course. I know you, Brenda.
My wife was
I
watching.
cannot
Fighting
be bribed.
Irish.
I cannot be bribed.
No,
If
not at
my
all.
wife was watching this, she'd say, he's going to get chopped after this. right? Because she watches all these programs. She watches all these baking
And
programs.
this is like a
stuff.
little Newfoundland version of Chopped, right?
Yeah, there you go. She'd say, why did you do that? But anyway. She probably
I gotta say now, it all smells pretty good, but like, it's hard to screw up bacon, butter, and scallops.
It's very true. And I gotta say, this tastes pretty
And
good.
you're both done, so I told you I wouldn't let you have something hard to do, right?
Right.
That's good, yeah. I
This
must
was
say,
awesome. This
you let us off.
Well, that's fantastic. I can't wait to try these things now.
I was
Both
looking for
look
some
really,
soy
really
sauce
good.
for that there, but
I know I don't have any.
what kind of a kitchen doesn't have soy sauce?
Well, Craig eats a lot of Asian food and he ate it all.
Blame it on Craig. We'll always blame everything on Craig.
It's easy. He's not here either, so
It's perfect.
Well,
I
that's
must say,
fantastic.
that
I
looks
can't
pretty
wait.
good, you know.
I can't wait to try these two
It
dishes.
looks good enough to eat.
They look
Right?
they look different, but
Yeah, look what the man got
But
over on
you-
that side. There's rice.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
right. He made a meal. Anyway, when we come back, we'll try the dishes and see who wins. Stay tuned to Scoff. Welcome back to Scoff Off. Well, that was a lot of fun, and I could have stayed talking to you both all day long. I forgot about the cooking, or I could have just had a chat, and I could have cooked for you later.
Right.
Next episode.
Next time.
Okay, so unfortunately, the hard part of my job now is picking a winner. So, presentation-wise, they're a little leaning towards Bud.
Yeah.
Our reputations depend on this. You know that, don't you?
You both use all your ingredients, although the maple syrup on the plate is a little.
So
now we're even.
That's a bonus there.
Right? So now we're even
Yeah.
going down taste.
I had the rice, he had the maple syrup.
Okay, but I'm going to try yours first.
I don't think they're cooked.
You don't think they're cooked? They're definitely cooked. Don't pull a Pete Susie on me.
No, don't do that.
Delicious.
She's still standing anyway.
That's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
Pretty good. I can taste the pepper.
Good.
Excellent.
Okay, Mark.
Taste maple
That's just
syrup?
the plain rice, right?
Yes, yeah, because you don't have any soy sauce.
And yours are cooked. This is not an Asian dish.
You got little
What
brown
would you put
mushrooms and everything.
I've
in it.
got mushrooms in it, I'm telling you.
And you got the leeks, but do you have other onions in it? No.
Yes, I put the
Put
yellow
regular
one in.
onion. Okay,
Yeah.
look at you go.
Yeah. And I put spinach in it.
Wow. Did
very
you
good.
use any leeks?
Yeah.
There's leek in it too, yeah.
I don't see any leaks. How
You use
come?
look.
Oh,
Use
yeah,
both.
they're in
I
there.
think you should lose a mark or something for that.
I didn't put a whole one in it.
They're both very good. This is a really hard one to pick, and it's like, and only because I respect my elders. Today's winner is Bud Davidge.
Oh, man.
I bow to the master.
Oh, God.
That's it for this episode of Scoff Off. We'll see you soon. Music and friends is what this episode was all about. Congratulations to Bud. It's nice to see the mentor take the win.
All right. I've done a lot of living and I found no matter where you go, the old world round, they always go together hand in hand. Where there's one, there'll be the other, music and friends. When blue skies turn to gray and hide the sun.
Focused on quality and convenience, there isn't much you won't find at Marie's Mini Mart. Home-style bread, sandwiches, plus a variety of artisan breads and delicious single-serve desserts available exclusively at our Frecker Drive location. Marie's Mini Mart, with 25 locations wherever you go, there we are.
Yellow Belly food means fresh food. We source our ingredients locally and prepare them from scratch. Our meat is never frozen. Food's so delicious, we've got Good Times cornered. Yellow Belly Brewery, a proud sponsor of One Chef, One Critic.
If you have a comment about this program, we'd love to hear it. Email or call us, or send us your feedback through social media.
Game TV's Watch and Win contest is back with over $75,000 in cash prizes. Tune in to Jeopardy weeknights at 8:30